Speakers and leaders, today we're talking all about how to be confident on camera. I have to be honest with you. I was very used to speaking in person. And when I first got onto the camera, doing things live, doing everything on video, I really didn't feel like myself. This was a few years back ago. I felt nervous. I was shy and it felt awkward, talking to this dot right in front of you. And today we have one of the best people in the world to help us with going on camera and also being more confident on camera. Let me bring on Kristen. Kristen, welcome.
Can
How
you
are
hear
you?
me?
Yeah, I
Good.
can hear you.
It just said I was having connection issues, so I just want to make sure I'm here. Hello. How's everyone doing?
Hello, welcome everyone. This is Kristen Kellogg. Okay, so if my audience have not had a chance to meet you yet, Kristen, can you just tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, do a lot of different things, but one of the things that we're talking about today, I'll introduce myself in that aspect, is I started out as a filmmaker and ended up somehow going from behind the camera to on camera. And that's how I kind of gained confidence in this area. I was pushing myself through the uncomfortable moments and really just practicing and becoming comfortable. And that's where I'm at today. Is I'm pretty comfortable. I'm not perfect, but I am comfortable and I am confident when I go on camera. So yeah.
Well, that's great. And, I would love to hear more of your story, but let's just dive right into the topic. The title of today's talk is How to Be Confident on Camera. It's a big topic, but what would you say? How does one begin to get more confidence on camera?
I think number one is let go of your ego. You need to forget what you look like, how you feel, all those things. You need to think about who you're speaking to and really what your message is to them and how you can help people. And I think that's the number one key to being confident and comfortable is doing that, because when you're helping people, it's not about you anymore. It's about them. And then the second thing I think is really just having that repetition, really pushing yourself to do it every single day or every other day, or have some sort of a schedule that you go by. So those are my two keys to my personal success. I mean, there are many, many tips which we can get into, but I would say those are the first two.
Okay, so Kristen, you were talking about how you were behind the camera and then you went in front of the camera. How did it feel for you? Was it easy for you? Did you feel like a natural? But how was it for you, if you remember?
So if you're watching this today and you've ever thought, like, how fun would it be if I had a show or if I was on camera, like someone recording my life? I had this moment when I was filming and I pitched Rosetta Stone, the company, an idea. I had started to get a following on Instagram and I thought this would be such a fun way to, maybe do something on camera and learn a new language. So I pitched them this long shot of an idea. I thought they'll never say yes. And they said yes. And I was like, oh my gosh, I actually have to go through with this now. Whole different, ball game, rather than having this big fun idea. Now I have to actually follow through with it. And so I was really nervous. There's a lot of, I think, judgment that can come within yourself. Like I said, you just drop the ego because it's not about you. It's about the other people that you're serving and what they can get out of it. But I think there was a lot of ego coming up for me at the beginning. Like, oh, my hair is not perfect. I'm 35. No one really wants to watch me because I'm older and I'm not this like young spring chicken anymore. Set all those things aside. And then I feel like I pushed myself to really get better. And what happened within this series, the first part of it, I had someone actually filming me, a friend of mine. And so it was a little bit easier to be in the moment where I didn't have to operate the camera, which normally isn't the case. I'm normally operating the camera. And then after this part of the series went on, I pitched them a continuation because they really liked it. And we did another part of the series where I traveled around to different events around different Spanish-speaking Latin American countries. And I had to film it all myself. And so that's a whole different thing when you have to do all the things. And so it really pushed myself to work on my presence on camera every day, to understand what the little things I was doing wrong, how I could fix them, my ums, my uhs, my eye contact, which sometimes I'm looking up. And we talked about this actually the other day in Kit's public speaking course that I took, which was amazing. but trying to really remain present in those moments, and I guess just really pushing myself further to be better for the people that I'm serving. It wasn't for me. It wasn't so that I can look more polished. When I look better, when I speak more clearly, that helps the person at the end of the, at the end of the game who is watching this and getting value from it. It's all helping them. So it's not about me anymore.
Yeah. What about, Kristen, what would you say are some of the biggest mistakes that you think people are making when they're going on camera? Like even little stuff like knowing how to look at the camera or what to focus on. What do you think are the biggest mistakes?
I think the biggest mistake is honestly just not being yourself and trying to be someone that you're not. I think that's like I tried at the beginning. I thought like, if I am this more hosty type person, like you see on the Travel Channel as they open and more polished, that this would make me better. It's so not true. I think that you can always be a more polished version of yourself, but you should always be yourself. And I think that is one of the biggest mistakes people make, is trying to not be who they are.
Do you think it took you a while to basically find your voice and be yourself though on camera? Like, okay, I'm trying all these different things, and then
Yeah.
eventually you found more of your voice.
Yeah, I think that we aren't sometimes sure of what our voice is, but really it's always been inside of us because it's who we are in our everyday life. And maybe just a more elevated and more animated, because I think the camera sometimes can take about 10 to 30% of our energy away. So you need to kind of be a little bit bigger, use the hand gestures, not speak in a monotone voice. So there are little things that you can learn that you can elevate your presence along the way.
Got it. What about the tech side of things? I know, many of us are at home now. Could be a camera or webcam, but any tips on how to make things better with some tech? Doesn't have to be extravagant tech.
Well, I like what you're using now. I haven't actually used it yet, but I was thinking about using one of the live streaming apps. So where you can actually split the screen, it's separate, and then you can stream on different channels. So I think right now this is being streamed on YouTube as well as LinkedIn. Is that correct? And is there any other platform you're streaming to right now?
No, that's it. Two of them.
Yeah. And when I do live streaming, I'm just using my Mac computer camera. Make sure you haven't touched the camera and have a fingerprint over it either, because that can happen, especially if you're streaming from something like your phone. We're always touching our phones, and a lot of people will touch this camera here, and then you're like, why is it not clear? Why is it blurry? But I think start with what you have. You don't have to get crazy technical. It really is about your message and how you're serving your audience. One thing I will give you, it's not a tech tip, but it's a lighting tip right now. So I could have turned a little bit more to get better light, but that's my room back there. There's a little mess over there. But I would say, like, if you're going to set up your interview, try to have some sort of interesting background. I tried to see which way, it's kind of backwards, but I tried to position my background so when it's just me on screen, there's kind of like a nice setup that goes with what I'm wearing. It's clean, it's not distracting, but it still adds some sort of aesthetic to the scene. And then just having the light facing you rather than if I were this way, as you can see, the light is not as good. So we call that backlit. So you can see that this is a lot better.
What about the window on your side?
Which one?
Any window. It doesn't matter. What if there's a window?
Here's what it looks like on the side. And so I would say, nah. I would say like this is better. This is still like a little bit angled. So if you can see like the window here, it's kind of back there. So this is directly, as you can see, it's very lit up and nice and pretty, but this gives it like just a bit of an angle. It's like a nice soft light. It's not direct hard light on my face.
Got it. Okay. Well, since we're talking about this, did you notice, from creating the film side of things, I don't even know how to say it, but do you think people can do better with like every day going on Zoom? Not with them, but the way they set things up. Do you think that, how do you think?
What do you think they could do better on Zoom?
No, like the way that you were just talking about, like, okay, we should not sit behind the window or in front of the window, or maybe we should not sit too high, let's sit too low. Or you have any?
So I have a stack. I'm going to point down here. I have a stack of books below me holding my computer up, because otherwise I'd be up here looking at you. It should be actually a little bit higher, but I couldn't find enough books because I'm actually renting this place here. So I would say like try to get it. This would be even more ideal, just a little bit higher. I was actually maybe going to stand. I'll see what that looks like. I was thinking about standing, but the light wasn't on my face. So yeah, there's not enough light over here, but this would be a little bit too high, I think. So now we're doing a little tour of my apartment.
Is this true, Kristen? That's what I heard, that for a talking head, we should have like 1 or 2 inches like from the top.
So in the video world of camera, like if you're recording something for later, not live, yes, I would say like 2 fingers. So I have about 4 right now, I think, maybe 6. In live, I feel like I don't think that really applies quite so much. I don't know. How about you? What you think? I just think that like the area around you needs to look really nice. But I do like to try to not give too much room at the top, because I think that can be a bit boring.
Yeah. Well, I think going back to what you're saying, like just having a nice background, not having a light behind you and all of that, it's good.
You can add something personal to it too, and I think that also adds to your confidence and comfortability level. Is like, do you feel comfortable in the setting? Do you feel comfortable in the clothes you're in? Like right now, I like to say I wear anything that feels like pajamas because I'm super comfortable in them. I wouldn't want to wear like a suit jacket or something like that. I don't think that would be the best option for me, because that's just not how I feel comfortable. And so I think dressing in the way that you feel most comfortable will help you with your confidence on camera as well.
That's great. What do you think people can do, if they are motivated by watching us right now, if they want to take action? What do you think are some action items that they can take after watching this video?
Yeah, one of the things I think that you should do is, if you've never gone live, go live on Instagram or Facebook or anywhere. Go live and pick a topic and tell people about that topic. Keep it simple. It could be reintroducing yourself, what you're doing, something that you're doing. Maybe it's a program you're launching. Maybe you just want to tell people about how you got started, like we talked about earlier, how I got started on camera versus behind the camera. Pick a simple story. Try to talk for like 3 to 5 minutes about your simple topic. And I think that that's a great way to start. If you're still feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't go live, I'm feeling really uncomfortable, try recording yourself on your device, maybe your phone, and then you can play it back and watch yourself. But I think that the more fun thing is to go live, and because you can't do a do-over. And I feel like when you have your phone, you could, I didn't like that version. Kit, I remember which was it, module 2, where you had us record something and you were like, just do it on the first take and send it to me. And I was so tempted to like stop and re-record, but I started recording, I messed up, and I said, nope, I'm going to keep going. And I just went and kept going. So I think live gives you the opportunity to keep going. And if you fumble over your words, no big deal. It's practice for the bigger thing at the end of the day. And especially if you're starting with a smaller audience or you've just started out, this is a really great thing for you to do consistently, because you will, if you have a good message and you have a good brand, or, your service that you're offering is good, you will eventually cultivate more of an audience. So it's just practice every single day, and you're showing up for the people that are already there that you're serving in a big way, and they will appreciate that. But you'll continue to get better as you grow your audience. You'll be better at what you do, and you'll be ready for that bigger audience.
Yeah. Kristen, just to get to know you a little bit more, I think you've been giving some great tips. So if people want to keep on following you, where's the best place to go?
Well, it depends what you want to follow me for. If you want to follow me for on-camera tips, I would say follow us over at Border Free Media, BORDERFREEMEDIA. It's very long. I'm also on Instagram, just my name, Kristen Kellog. And then we have tons of resources for you. in your business, anything you need. If you're a small business owner, entrepreneur, we've got lots and lots of information from SEO to video marketing to copywriting to creating content. My business partner and I have done it all for a decade, and we are here to help you. So if you're a small business owner, and if you want to get into feeling good and wellness, I also am a health coach. So just a little side thing there. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Now, Kristen, can I ask you how you will use, going on video for yourself, your business? I just want to, some personal things for you. Like, do you do live
I
Instagram?
do.
Like, tell us more.
Yeah, so I do a lot of Instagram lives. I have a wellness series that is called Your Whole Life, Wellness in the Time of a Pandemic. And I started it, I think maybe in April or May last year, thinking it was just going to be a very short series on wellness because, people needed help with their health because of the pandemic. And here we are almost a year later. And so I've been doing that regularly, usually once a week. I haven't done one this week, but I do that. And then sometimes, so I do those lives and then I turn them into Instagram TV. So they're there forever. So if you wanted to watch any of those, they're on my personal Instagram. We do some lives over at Border Free Media on business tips, and we do special guests that are business owners that can share tips of things that they've gone through, things they know, things they've learned, all of that fun stuff. And then sometimes I just go live for fun, like I did before I got.
Yeah, I think Kristen froze a little bit, so I'm going to take over. The next question I was going to ask Kristen, I hope she's popping back in. And Kristen, let me know if you can hear me. Is the question is the difference between going live and just recording yourself without going live. There is a difference there as well. Kristen, let me know when you are back. You can type in the chat or just let me know. If you want to become more confident on camera. Today, it is 2021. It's February. Actually, tomorrow is my birthday. Just moving forward, we have to get comfortable with going live and also doing recorded videos as well, because these two things are completely different. When we go live, oh, hey, Kristen is back.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
hey,
I don't know what
back.
happened. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, don't worry.
Okay. Sorry. I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi here. We were talking about whales, and you asked a question. Remind me what that second question was.
Well, I moved on to another question.
Yeah.
The question now the new question is going live versus not going live.
Okay.
Right? What are your thoughts on that? I was talking about basically now it's 2021. We need to be able to learn how to do both.
Yeah.
In today's world. I think it's different. What are your thoughts of going live versus not live?
I love going live because you can connect with real people in real time. And then you can also, like I was saying, you can save these things to IGTV, for example. You can use them later if you went live. For longer form content, I think live is the way to go. If you're doing something that you want to be short, succinct, precise, I think that pre-recording is a great option so that you make sure you get your messaging in quickly. Say it's like a 60-second video, one main tip of something. I love that. I love live for anything interview like we're doing right now. I think it's a fun way to get people to interact and engage and make them feel like they're part of a conversation as well. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts there. What about you?
What are your thoughts about scripts, actually? Now that you're making me think. When we're not going live, or maybe when we go live.
Yeah. Well, so before what I did before we went live here is I made like 5 little notes here of things I wanted to make sure I mentioned. So I didn't write anything more than that. But I was like, oh, I want to make sure I hit on these 5 things. So I think that's kind of a thing that you should do if you're thinking about going live by yourself or with someone else. You can even stick a sticky note just above your camera or on the wall so that it doesn't look like you're so off focus if you're thinking about what to continue to say. But I think that also can help you stay on track. But I don't believe that it's nice to have a scripted out, like say you're doing something to camera and you need to record it, it needs to be succinct. It's great to write that out, but also it's even better if you can just write out the points that you want to say and keep it short and sweet. And that way you'll remain authentic as you talk about it rather than sound like a person that is inside of a computer machine.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of videos just live, but then I noticed I wasn't as good when it's not live. When it wasn't live, I didn't feel like I went back to not feeling myself. I don't know why. Maybe because for me, when it's live, I feel like it's like in real life. You just gotta speak, and it gives me
I
more
know.
energy.
You're so good at live alone too. That's the thing that I think I struggle with the most is, and we talked about this in your course, is my rambling when I'm alone. I think when I speak to the camera and no one's there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to fill all the gaps and the spaces because if I'm not saying anything, it's weird and awkward. And so that's something I've been working on personally to slow down, relax, take a breath. Maybe I'm going to take a sip of water.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
Yeah. It gets better as you practice and you move through it and you know where you're awkward and where you feel like you're fumbling or things that you continue to repeatedly make mistakes on or that you perceive as mistakes. But yeah, I think that, it comes with practice, and the more you do it, the better you'll get, and the better you can serve the people you're trying to get your message out to.
Yeah, and going back to what you were talking about in the first place, is going back to helping people at the end of the day. It's not about us, it's about our audience. Kristen, as we're winding down, I always love to say at the end of these interviews, what is your 1-minute message about how to be confident on camera? Okay, what do you think is, you can go over a minute, but what is your 1-minute message on how to be confident on camera?
Know your content. You first and foremost would you need to make sure you know what you're talking about. So know your content, practice, but don't over practice. I think that having those talking points are essential to understanding what you're going to say. You can say them succinctly. They'll keep you on track. And I think what I said about styling your set, I think that is kind of a way to feel more comfortable and more confident, is feeling confident in your environment and what you're wearing. And just kind of recapping all of those things, and then practice, just practice, repetition, watch your.
Kristen Frost again, I'm going to take over. I love what she said. It's practice. You have to style your set, and going back to, being yourself, know your content really well. So thank you for that. Even though, Kristen, you cut off, you're back.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's the Wi-Fi. No one can explain. Yeah.
Mercury's in retrograde, probably.
Kristen, again, if people are loving what you're saying, where can they go and follow you again? Everywhere.
All the places. So you can find me on Kristen Kellog, Kristen Kellogg on Instagram. That's like my main channel there. And company is Border Free Media. If you have a small business, we can help you there. And Mapped Wellness, if you are interested in learning more about balancing your work and your life and living in a well state, optimal wellness state.
We all need that. Are you working on any special projects so far?
For which business?
Both.
I am. So we're actually creating something special for people who want to start a business that haven't actually started one yet, because we realized half of our audience is that person over at Border Free Media. We already did a video marketing course, which we love, and help people through that have a business. But this is going to be something that if you're ready to start a business and you're not really sure how to do it, or you don't know exactly what to do, but you kind of know what your idea is, you haven't validated it yet, those are the things will help you. And it's going to be 90 days. So it'll be a 3-month, call it a cohort, if you will. And you heard it here first. The name is going to be Launch with Leverage, because that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to build your business and in 90 days be able to launch and actually have people that are interested in your product or service, because you've properly vetted it, and you have all the materials, and you've put all the things together. So that's like the little baby that we're working on over the next few months.
That's a great name, Launch with Leverage.
Yeah. What about you, Kit? What are you working on next?
I'm working on not trying to do too many things. I'm trying to
Didn't
cut
you
down.
just say that you weren't going to go on all the social platforms except for LinkedIn now?
Yeah, LinkedIn and YouTube. But I think once we cut down, there's even more things to do uh,
I
during
know.
that as
I think
well.
that fine tune and focus, right? Focus on
Yeah,
one thing. You can do everything, but you can't do everything all at the same time.
yeah. And I think Steve Jobs said something like that too. Well, Kristen, thank you for being on with us to talk about how to be more confident on camera. And if you're watching live right now or the replay, thank you for tuning in. And go give Kristen a follow whether you want to get better on camera, really grow your business, or on the health and wellness side of things. Go visit Kristen. She's amazing. Kristen, thank you once again for joining us today.
Thank you, Kit. Always a pleasure. I hopefully will see you on Clubhouse again sometime soon if you're quitting.
I'm not going on Clubhouse anytime soon.
Okay, okay.
Bye, everyone.